Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video we will see how you can use animations and control 3D objects in your website. So for this video we will see how you can use GSAP, which we will use to animate our object 3D model, and Three.js, or you can say React 3 fiber, which we are going to use to import the 3D model. So you can see on the screen we are going to remake this simple animation with a 3D model. You can see as I scroll down, it is a scrolling animation. So as I scroll down, the model moves to the left, and it also the camera zooms in. So you can see it is zooming on the side, so the angle is on the left side of the model. And then as we scroll down over here, the camera moves to the back of the watch, and then in the last frame it is at the center of the screen. So to make this kind of animation, you don't have to use like any complex tools or anything. There's just two simple tools, GSAP and React Fiber. These only tools that we require in order to make this kind of animation. So it is very simple. It seems a complex, but it is not, trust me. And we will see exactly how we can make this kind of animation in our website. A lot of websites nowadays use this kind of scroll animation where they will move a 3D object across the screen when you are scrolling down. So it is a pretty cool effect as well. So yeah guys, let's see how it is done in a VS Code, and we will use GSAP and React Fiber for this. So let's see. So alright guys, I am now in my VS Code, and let me first zoom a little bit so you can see clearly. So yeah guys, and you can see a lot of code that I have already written over here. This is like not the animation that we are talking about. This is just a simple text and some styling. Let me show you how it is looking like. So you can see I've just recreated the text and some styling over here, which we will then apply our scrolling animation into this. So you can see it is just a pretty basic website now with some text, and you can scroll up and down over here. That like nothing fancy over here. And the framework that I'm using is White React, so you can download it by npm create white at latest. And I'm also using Tailwind for the CSS part, but it is not necessary. You can use any other framework or the vanilla CSS as well. So you can see over here I'm using Tailwind as well. But yeah, I've just created a basic template in order to make our 3D animation. So let's begin. All right, let me zoom out a little bit. And I will also like provide this template over here if you are like not willing to write all of these on your own. I will just provide this template code, this setup code in the description. You can check it out. So yeah, so in order to start, we first need a 3D model. So how you can do that? Either you can make your own 3D model in Blender, or you can use a website like such as Sketchfab to download 3D models for free and as well as paid. Both the versions are available. So for our website, we have to use a watch. So let me just search. Oops. Yeah, so you can see on the watch I've got a lot of watches over here, and you can see we are going to download this Apple Watch Ultra 2. So this is a pretty good model that I found over here. So this is the triangle count. The number of triangles is a lot, but like for the simple website I think it is good enough. So let's download it and come over here, and we will download the lowest texture 1K. And you can also like transform it in Blender or something else, and like reduce the number of triangles and number of vertices in order to make the size a little bit smaller. So but in this video we're not going to do that. Instead we just use that model straightforward. And second, before that, there's another website which is used to convert any model into the code, into the React 3 fiber code. So we can use that, and we can add that in our website. So the name of the website is gltf. You can see over here gltf.pmnd.rs. So it is by the same team which developed the React 3 fiber. So you can trust this, and just click over here, and you have to choose your model. So I'm going to choose this one, which I've just downloaded, and it will load, and it will give me the whole code, the whole R3F code in order to import the model. And you can see on the right hand side it is giving me the preview as well. The lighting is a bit too harsh over here, but don't worry, we are going to use like much less lighting than this. The main thing is this code over here on the left side. You don't need to write on your own every single mesh and every single geometry on your own. It just give all the code right like this. So you can just copy paste. We will leave this like this for now. So let's go to our VS Code first, and here what we have to do first, let's create some scenes. Okay, alright, so after coming to our app.js, we have to import some modules. So first of all, I'm going to import the canvas from React 3 Fiber. So I'm going to use canvas, and yeah, make sure you have download these dependencies. I forgot to tell you, like these are all the dependencies that you have to download. You can like ignore these Lava, Math, and these R3F Power, but these are important. React 3 Dre, React 3 Fiber. These two are very important. So make sure to download these two. Else are like optional. You don't have to download this. So yeah, after downloading, you can import it just like that, just like this one. And after canvas, we have to also include gsap, which we are going to use later on. So I'm going to use gsap from gsap, and in order to use gsap in React, you have to also, like we are also using scroll trigger. So first let's import scroll trigger as well. So I'm going to use scroll trigger. So gsap scroll trigger, yeah, this one, gsap slash scroll trigger, this one, make sure it is this one only. And in order to use the scroll trigger, we have to then merge them. So you can see over here gsap.register plugin scroll trigger, so something like this. Now we can easily use gsap in our React website. But let's just first import the model in our C, and let's like see how the model is looking like without any animations. So I will come under over here, yeah, here, and this is the div. Let me just something, something, just right lower them over here to see where it is. I think it's not displaying over here. I think the color is black, that's why. So let's just write over there text white. Now you will see. Okay, so you can see over here on the top left corner, it is looking something like this. But don't worry, we are going to use the height and width 100%, and it will cover up the whole screen, so you don't have to worry about that. So here I will add the canvas. So the canvas is like the container which contains all the 3D scene. So every single component, every single action that you are performing in the 3D, it is inside the canvas only. Okay, so after adding our canvas, we need a scene, and we will create a scene in another file. You can also do all this stuff inside this, but it is recommended to use different files in React. So let's name our scene.jsx. Let's create a new file over here. And now what I will do is, first of all, let's create the boilerplate, and inside the scene over here, we have to import our model, or we have to animate our model. What I will do for now is, I will add all the lightings and all the camera, all the controls. So all these will go inside this scene only. Okay, so first of all, let's import all the necessary things that we have to import. The first thing is use ref, which we are going to use, and then use effect. All right, after that I'm going to use import use frame by React 3 Fiber over here, and then after that I'm going to use environment from React 3 Dre library, and also perspective camera. So these two things from React 3 Dre library. Then I'm going to use the same thing, gsap. So I'm just going to copy it from over here. So all these three lines over here, I'm going to copy it from app, and we also need it over here. I will explain why we need this. So let's just import all the necessary things. And if you're wondering why what is our scene looking like, there's no difference because we haven't added our model yet. So let's now quickly make our scene and add the model. So come over here, we are not animating it right now, so we are just gonna leave all the JS code for now and remove this div over here. As I've already told you, we don't write any HTML elements inside this canvas, but instead we are going to use this ghost tag. All right, so inside the ghost tag we are going to use our perspective camera. So this is the camera. You can also use orthographic camera, but this one is recommended by me, so use this and make sure it is make default position. Let's change the position, let's leave it like that only for now, and let's change the FOV to 45, and let's say the near value is 0.1 and the far value is 1 or 10,000. All right, I think that will be good enough. And let's add the environment. So you can see over here environment, which we have just imported from Dre, and preset is to city. That's it. So that's all our code, and you will still see nothing. So let's import our model. So I will copy this code which we have generated earlier. So just copy all this till the bottom over here, and we have to make a new file in order to add these all codes. So what I will write over here, you can name it anything. I will just write watch.jsx and just paste all this code over here, and make sure to rename this file to watch or anything you want, and make sure this is grabbing this 3D model from this public, but we don't have the model yet, so we have to import it, or we have to add the model over here. So we can do this by over here, so just like that. So yeah, and yeah, I think I have to change the name, so let me just change the name over here, remove this one. I think that's it, and now we have successfully added the model. The only thing is to like add this watch into our scene. How you can do that? Very simple. You just have to write watch. That's it, and you will see it is automatically imported over here. If it doesn't, make sure to add this line over here as well and save it. And now hopefully we will see the watch. So let's go to our website, and okay, so you cannot see anything. Let me first add a access helper, so to figure it out whether it is the access is there or not. So let me reload it. Okay, so it is giving some kind of error. Let me see. Okay, so there is no error as well. um mm, mm, mm. Oh, okay, so that's because we haven't we haven't added the scene into our canvas, that's why. So just add the scene over here, so scene, and some just like that, and you can see the scene is imported as well. So let's save it and see. Refresh. Okay, all right, you can see the axis is there, and there is a, you can zoom it, you can see there is a tiny model of our watch, so it is very small right now. Let's make it bigger. All right, so what I will do over here, go to our watch, and at the topmost, at the outermost group tag, I will write over here scale, and in an array I will pass 35 35 comma 35. So this will apply 35 times scaling in all the axes. So this is for z, y, and sorry, x, y, and z axis. Save it, and now I think we will be able to see. Yeah, you can see over here the 3D model is here. We cannot move it around because we haven't added the orbit controls. So if you want to add like orbit controls, if you want to like scroll, or like rotate your model, you can do something like this. You have to add the orbit controls from React 3 Dray and then add it over here. So just like that, save it, and now you can see you can rotate your model in any direction, or zoom in or zoom out, but we don't want to rotate it, and we don't want to give the user the control to rotate the model. We're going to use the gsap animation for that. So yeah, we will disable this orbit controls, so I will comment that out. All right, let's refresh. Okay, so it is looking something like this. Now the only thing left is to add animations, is to add gsap to animate the object when I'm scrolling, to move it over here, and also to move the camera angles. Let's first, the camera angle we will do it later on. Let's first use the animation to move it. All right, so there will be two types of gsap that we're going to use. Not two types, like two places we are going to use. The first one is in the app.js itself, and the second one will be in the scene. That's why we have added gsap in these two files. So let's see in the app.js. All right, so let's start our animation process. So first of all, we need to define some refs. So what do I mean by that? So let me just write over here, main ref is equal to use ref null, and similarly I will write it over here, scene ref, and I will add this main ref to our the outermost tag, which is the main tag ref, and we are going to use this reference for our main page in order to define the gsap animation, and we will apply the gsap animation on this scene ref. So make sure to give this scene ref to this element, all right, to this div over here. So we are going to use this, we are going to animate this div, and inside this div we have all our 3D scene. So the 3D scene will also be animated. All right, our reference is defined. Now let's use effect. So we will use this use effect hook, and we will run it over one time. So add this empty square braces over here, and inside this we will use the gsap timeline. So write gsap dot timeline, and this timeline function is to combine multiple animations in one, and it will just continuously switch between one another. So when the first animation finishes, then it will just jump to the second animation right away. So this is what we want, and inside this I will add round braces and then curly braces. Now inside this, what I will write scroll trigger, which we have just imported over here. So right over here there is a scroll trigger function. So scroll trigger, and it will take some argument as well, but we will leave it like that for now. Or no, like we can fill it up right away. So let's just do that. So you can see over here it is recommending me as well. This trigger, we have to define what we want to trigger. Okay, what we want to not trigger, what we want to like take a reference as. So for that we're going to use this main ref. So our main ref is will be the trigger point. I hope you're getting my point over here. So main ref dot current, and this dot current is important because we are like using the reference. After that, just write start over here. All right, top, and then this and bottom, and I will write over here bottom as well, and this scrub 1. I will explain you all these things like what they mean. Just write it for now. And on update, I will write it over here self, on update self, and for now we will leave it empty, but we need this on update like in few minutes. Now this is the timeline that we have defined. Now we will define the actual animation, what we want to animate, what we want to move. All right, we want to move this scene ref that we have given the reference. How we're going to do that? Just like this. So you're going to define dot to, and then scene ref dot current, you can see, and then comma, and then it will take some more arguments, which will be first of all the value. So the x. So currently you will see the watch is in the middle. All right, now whenever we are scrolling down in this part, all right, when we reach over here, we want our watch to the left side over here, and the y value will be also increased. So we will change both y and x value for this. So y value will be minus negative 25 VW, and then y will be positive 100 VH. What this mean is, whenever we are scrolling down, the first animation will be this watch will be shift towards the left, because we are talking about the x-axis. So it will shift towards left 25 VW. So it will go something like there. And at the same time, we are also increasing the y value to 100 VH, which means it is right now over here. It is something like go like this. So it is currently over here, then this, and it will end up over here after this animation ends. All right. Also, we can change the animation type. We want to the animation smooth, or we want like start smoothly, or linear animation, whatever type. So for that we are going to use none. We don't want any none, and this none means linear animation. So we want linear animation. We don't want any like fancy animations or anything like that. So I think it should work right now. Let me, so yeah, you can see, let me just reload it, and when I'm scrolling down, you can see the watch is moving. And okay, so it is not moving like what I've expected. So it is just stuck at the top there. It is like not coming over here completely. So let me just see what is the problem. For that, I will add over here a border to see clearly what is happening. And let's add a border over here, so you can see the border of the div. So oh, okay guys, so I got the problem. Like what was the problem here? First of all, let me just remove this border from over here. So the problem was, whenever you are using this timeline, it will divide all the animations equally. So currently we only have this one animation, right? We only have this one animation. So what it means, we are scrolling from this, when we are scrolling from this up to the bottommost point, like then it will complete. All right, then it will be on that particular position. So we have to like divide this transition, we have to divide this animation into 3 parts. So from this to this, and from here to this right side, this is the second animation, and from this right side to the left side, this is the third animation. So I hope you get my point over here. So I will just copy this down 2 more times. All right, so 2 more times, and the second time will be plus 25 VW, and this will be 200 VH, this will be 300 VH, and minus, I think, yeah, now we have successfully divided the timeline into 3 parts. So these, like each timeline would take 33% of the total time. So now it will work fine. Let me just reload it one more time, and when I go back, when I scroll down, yeah, you can see over here it is working correctly now. So let me scroll to the bottom point, And you can also like do this without animating this div over here and directly moving the model inside the scene. This is also one of the options. So yeah, there are many ways to do the same thing. But yeah, we are using this way. So the moving of the model is done. The only thing left is to animate the camera angles. So let's do that as well. So in order to animate the camera, we have to go to this scene, and then we have to use the GSAP over here. But first, let me tell you, like in this scene over here, we are using a scroll trigger, but we cannot use the scroll trigger over here. We have to use a progress. We have to use the scroll trigger same value in this scene component. So like somehow we have to pass the progress of the scrolling, like something in, like I'm in the between now, so the scroll percentage is almost like 50%, so we have to like pass that value to scene. So how we're gonna do that? This is easy. You can just define a variable called progress, or like use state. So I'm going to use a use state and then progress and set progress. All right, and then initial value will be 0, and on update, which I have left empty before, I will write this set progress self dot progress. That's all. And also we have to pass this progress to this component. How we're going to do that? Props. If you know the concept, you will know, and if you don't, it is very easy. You just have to pass this variable called progress, and if you just leave it like that, it will work also. But to define you clearly, I'm going to write this full name. So progress, we are passing that progress to a variable called progress, and this progress has to be present inside this scene component. So let me save it first, and to grab that, write a curly braces and add progress. Now you can see we are getting this progress value, and we can now animate our camera angle, and now we can use a GSAP. So let's do that. But before doing that, we have to like first identify the 4 camera angles that we were seeing in the demo that we have showed you at the like the starting of the video. So let's first define some positions of the camera angle that we are going to use. The first one is this one, x 3.5, and then 2.17, and the z axis is 3.7. So this camera angle will be the starting position. Let me reload it. Okay, so it is looking like this. Okay, so I got this. Like whenever you are not using this orbit controls, you have to use frame in order to keep the model in center. So what I'm going to use frame, this function over here, and then inside this I will be grabbing this. First of all, I have to make a ref as well. So I will make a camera ref, and then pass this camera ref variable to my camera. So like that, and I will grab this camera ref. So camera ref dot current dot look at, all right, and then 0 comma 0 comma 0. So in this way, if you will take a look over here, yeah, you can see the watch is in this center. All right, so yeah, I was talking about the camera angle. So this will be our first camera angle. The second camera angle, I will just comment it out, okay, not delete this. The second camera angle will be 3.7 point, and y-axis will be 0.6, and z value will be 0.7. So let's see how it is looking like. So yeah, you can see it is for this like a rotating button over here, or the crown in the Apple terms. So let's define the third camera angle. The third camera angle will be 2.3, then 0.87. And if you're like wondering how I'm getting these values, I'm just I'm using this use frame and then printing the camera position like this, and using the orbit controls to control the model freely, and then grabbing the camera position. So like that. All right, the last value for z will be 4.2. So this is our third camera angle. So yeah, you can see over here the third camera angle, and the last one which was on the display itself, it was like focusing on the display. So 0 comma 2.5 and comma 3.6. all right, so yeah, okay, so yeah, now we have all our 4 camera positions. Now we want to animate from the first one to second to third and to fourth, and we are going to use GSAP for that. All right, so let's use effect first, and then add that over here, and you add a single braces, And no, in this case we are not going to use empty brackets because we have to update it every time the progress value is updated. So pass this progress value inside the square braces. So every time this progress value updates, this function or every function inside this use effect also runs immediately. So after that, I'm going to define a function called update camp position, or update camp pos in short, and I will write something like this. And inside this, what I will write, I will first define all the positions. So let me just copy all these and like positions and paste it like this. And yeah, I know it is looking like a mess right now. Let me just resolve that like this add a add a closing bracket over here. We'll remove this from here, this and this, and all the curly braces as well. Add a comma over here, this and this. Okay, so let's format the document as well. So yeah, we have got our all the positions in this variable called positions, and now we have to animate it. So let me come down over here. So now to animate it, we need one more variable called const segment progress. All right, and this will be 1 divided by 3. Why 1 by 3? Because this is the number of transitions. So if you take a closer look, we have to transition in 3 times. So from here to here, 1, 2 and 3. So the number of transitions will be 3, and we have to divide this timeline into 3 parts. So that's why I've written over here 1 by 3. And now what I will do, I will write the gsub code. So for that, I will write over here const segment index. All right, let me write it first. So it will be segment index mat.flow, and let me console it in order to tell you what it will print. So let me just open the console, reload. Okay, so I think it is not working right now. Okay, that's because we are like not calling the function. So we have to call the function as well inside the use effect, and also we are going to pass this camera_ref.current in this square brackets. All right. Okay, so you can see the current segment index value is 0. So as I scroll down, when I reach the second part, you can see now it becomes 1. So that's what we want. And the second, when I cross the first, now it becomes second, and then 3. So it switches between 0, 1, 2, 3. So because there are 4 different parts and 3 different transitions. So that's cool. That's what we want. And now what we want the percentage, the exact percentage between these transition. How we're going to do that? Let's define a const, let's say percentage, and this will be progress, and we will going to use a remainder like this. So progress modulus segment progress, and then we're going to divide this by this. Let me console this as well and explain you what is happening. So this one percentage. So let me reload. You can see currently it is 0, and when I'm scrolling down it is increasing, and now it is 0.45 and it is hitting 1. So yeah, there you can see over here. Let me zoom if I can. Okay, I think I cannot zoom this console, but yeah, here let me show you where it switches. You can see over here 0.99, and then it just switches from 0.999 back to 0. So that's exactly what we want. We want the percentage value for each section. So this, the first section goes from 0 to 1, then second will also goes from 0 to 1. Let me scroll down, and the third one will also goes from 0 to 1. All right, so that's exactly what we want in order to animate. So now we also got our percentage value. The only thing left is to convert the first angle to second, and then second to third, and third to fourth. How we're going to do that? We have to first define few variables. The first one will be start x and start y, start z. So this will grab all the start values. What will this will be grabbing for the first index, like for the first transition? This start x will be equal to 3.5, the start y will be 2.17 and the start z will be 3.7. So all the start values, and similarly we are going to use the end values as well, so like this. And we are going to add +1 because we are going to animate one after, like one position after the first one. So this end one will be grabbing this 3.7, and this end y will be 0.6 and z will be 0.7. And it will not, it will not stop only for these two variables. Once it crosses the first section and it enters the second transition, it will switch. So now the start x will become this one and this end x will become 2.3, and similarly the last transition as well. Now the only thing left is to convert this start x into end x, and we have to convert it smoothly. So we need to define 3 more variables, and yeah, trust me, these are the only 3 more variables left. So you can see over here Copilot is also recommending me. So this x will be start x plus, and in braces we will write end x minus start x, and then we have to multiply all that by percentage. Let me tell you what is happening. So for example, the percentage value is 0. We are just starting over here. This whole bracket will become 0. We are only going to see the start x. So that is fine. The starting will be the start x. If this percentage value becomes 1, then what will happen over here? This start x will cancel out with this one, and we will only be left with this end x. So that's exactly what we want. We want to transition from start x to end x smoothly, and that is how we can do that. And similarly we are going to use x, y and z value as well. So we're going to use y and then z. So I hope you're getting this. Like if you're not, you can like ask me in the comments as well. I will try my best to explain you there as well. So now we are getting the x, y and z value. The only thing left is to add these values into gsap. So write a gsap over here and then this thing over here. And like you will be wondering that in this we have used gsap.timeline, but for this we only need to use gsap.to, because we don't have multiple animations, we only want to use a single animation. So that's why we're going to use gsap.to, and this will be the target that we have gone, like the particular object that we want to animate. So camera.current.position, we want to animate the position of the camera ref, and the camera ref is defined over here, and we want to change these values x to x, so it is grabbing by this. And if you want, you can just remove this and write it like that only. JavaScript will automatically detect and like add the x value to x. So yeah, you can write this like that only. And the duration, let's increase it like from 0.1 to 0.5. And also let's add the ease function, let's say to power let's say power1 dot out. All right, I think now we should be done. I don't think anything is left. You are animating all the camera angles correctly. So first of all, and yeah, also by default the camera position will be the first one, so uncomment the first position. I think that's it. Let's see. All right, so let's test our website over here and close this console, reload the website, and yeah, you can see over here the animation is working smoothly. So yeah guys, oh okay, so it just broke. Okay, I got it. What is the problem? So whenever the value of this progress is becoming 1, that is giving us an error, so we have to handle the 1 value. All right, so now to do that, what I'm going to do is let's just zoom out a little bit for my document. I will copy all this till gsap, and I will write it over here in an if else statement. All right, in the else part I will paste all this code, and we have to write some logic in the if. So if the progress is greater than or equal to 1, all right, we will like move the object to the last position, which is this one, 0, 2.5, 3.6. So you can see 0, 2.5 and 3.6. So we will do something like this in order to prevent that error. So yeah, or you can, if you like don't want to use these values, you can just directly use from this array over here by using this array. But yeah, this is also fine. Let's reload it and let's see and test it one more time if it is working or not. So let's come down over here, and then yep, You can see over here, now we have reached the end and it is not giving any error. So yeah guys, I think yeah, that's it. And you can see like how cool it is looking. You can like add it in your portfolio or something, it will look very nice. So, and yeah, let's also remove this axis from over here, in the scene, in the axis. Okay, so guys, I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any new idea you want the video of, you can comment down below and I will definitely check it out. So guys, I hope you learned something new and enjoy this video. That's it for this video guys, I will see you in the next one.